I am joined by Scott Brown, Cluster Director of Sales with Melia Hotels International, coming to us from Manchester, England. How are you?
Yeah, good. Good, thank you. You?
I'm okay. Every time I hear Manchester, I think of the Smiths. I don't know if that's
Good, yeah, good. One of my
misspent
favourites.
American youth or what's
Yeah,
going
one of my favourites. There's a few, to be fair. There's quite a lot that's come from Manchester, Liverpool. This sort of area of the northwest of the UK has done more than its fair share for music, I think.
on. It has, yes. So you joined Melia right about the time the pandemic hit, right?
About 2 weeks before, yeah, it was it
So
was great timing.
yeah. So how's it been? Past 8 or 9 months.
It's been nothing if not interesting for sure. I mean, for everybody, for me coming into a new role, um, it was. It certainly wasn't the induction process that was set out for me for sure. Joining a new brand, a new role, um, and also almost a new project as well. Because we've come the cluster, as my role suggests, is right now a cluster of one. It's one hotel, which is the Inside Manchester. But we are rolling that out across the UK. With Inside Newcastle opening in December, Inside Liverpool opening in May, and then Glasgow, Leeds, and beyond in 22. So it was also a time that was of change for the business and was the start of a big project, really. So it was a very unusual time to be starting project, role, everything, really.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, quickly describe for us what Melia is, the hotels, locations, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so Melia is a Spanish brand, um, headquartered out of Mallorca, Palma, and they began as a resort brand. Really, they're now the biggest hotel brand in Spain, but now across every continent, nearly 400 hotels, brands. The master brand being Melia Hotels, but then also the Me brand, which is a luxury sort of 5-star lifestyle brand. The Inside brand, which is the brand that I fall under, which is a 4-star blended lifestyle, as we call it, brand, and also a number of resort brands as well. So yeah, it's fast growing. It's in that kind of middle size, I think, which is what's great about the brand, is that it's not sort of the beast, a huge kind of massive brand that has many different brands underneath it, but it's bigger than that independent small brand, right?
Are all the hotels open now?
No, no. I mean, Europe is. I mean, it's the same everywhere, I'm sure, but certainly within our region, we have had different countries going into different phases of lockdowns. So for us here in the UK, like I say, we have the Inside Manchester, but we also have 3 hotels in London. So we have the Melia White House, the Melia Kensington, and the Me London. And between those 4 hotels, including London and Manchester, we just have the Me in London that's open. So that the Inside Manchester is closed currently, as are the other 2, because of the second lockdown that's come into place in the UK.
Right. Any kind of insight on the next couple of months?
The UK lockdown is set to end. Second lockdown is set to end on the 2nd of December. The rhetoric is that and it came in super last minute. The government were doing everything they could not to go into this lockdown. We had a tiered structure of restrictions that was city by city, which was quite difficult as well and quite confusing for people to kind of adhere to. But we went into this lockdown in an effort to kind of break our second wave, slow down that curve, to give us an opportunity to get back to some sort of Christmas and some sort of life at Christmas. So the expectation is 2nd of December, but as throughout this pandemic, that may change. That may change.
Yeah, and the hotels you mentioned there in England, I mean, that you guys are in a tough spot because of everything that you just described. So, in your role, what are you doing? What are you able to do to sell the hotel? And you're probably looking at 2021 too.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, I think the good thing about the Inside brand, we talk about this blended lifestyle. So that we coined the phrase bleisure, being that mix between business and leisure, and there being a real mesh between the two, and whether that's in our segmentation in terms of the type of business that we have, or whether it's down to the individual traveller who wants to blend their work life with their leisure, and a business trip becomes a leisure trip, and so forth. So I think because of that, we do have a blended segmentation, which is a good thing for us. In that we're not a corporate box, and it's not all about business travel that's kind of non-existent at the moment. So we do have that little bit of a mix, and we did have certainly before this second lockdown, people travelling for leisure to a city like Manchester, because it's got a great food and beverage scene. People were still travelling for that individual leisure experience, if not the group experience, which would usually be to a soccer match or to a big conference exhibition, a concert, that type of thing. So we were still feeling some of the benefit of that. And I think everybody, I don't know if it's the same in the US, but the word pivots is used a lot over here for how you can kind of pivot your business and change your business. We were pretty early out of the gate after our first lockdown with a workspace on demand offer, changing our bedrooms into kind of single use isolated workspace, which we had a little bit of take up for, which was good. There's also an allowance in the UK for elite sports to still happen, and groups to still travel. So we've had a couple of the soccer teams who've played the Manchester United or Manchester City football teams stay with us at the hotel, and that's something that we've really tried to capture, those markets that are still travelling for groups. Sport being one, production. We've had a couple of TV crews and whatnot still travelling, still needing accommodation. So we've tried to really, really aggressively go after those.
So primarily through email, or you probably have, I know you have a good social presence too.
Yeah. The brand itself is very key on socials. Really kind of pushes. I've worked in hotels before, and it's when we've had influencer requests, it's always been kind of we're just looking for a freebie here, and Melia as a brand is very keen, and the Inside brand certainly on working with influencers to show the lifestyle of our hotels, and we continue to do that, and we kind of upped that presence and that game really to showcase real experiences of our hotels, which I think gave the customer a sense of security around coming and visiting our hotel if they weren't confident about traveling.
Right. All right, Scott, I want to thank you for joining me, sir. I want you to hang in there.
We'll do our best.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.